The salesman liked to play Russian roulette in Season 2, but I think something went for a spin inside his mind, and it landed on crazy. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and we're here today to discuss the salesman, to discuss the recruiter, and did he recruit some craziness going into Season 2, because he seems like a totally different guy. He seems like something went wrong. You see him in Season 1, he's recruiting the players for the game, he's cool, he's calm, he's composed. You almost feel like he's compassionate and that he's trying to help the players. Now, yes, that could be a fake persona, that could be him trying to trick and mislead the players into joining the game, but at least he felt like he had things under control in Season 1. In Season 2, we just see the guy completely change. He does a 180. I mean, he goes crazy. He goes from recruiting players to literally just antagonizing homeless people, pretty much showing them, here, you could have had bread, you could have had food, but instead your greed chose a lottery card, so I'm going to destroy the food in front of your eyes. It then forces the two loan sharks into a game of Russian roulette. They didn't want to play Russian roulette, which feels against the policy of Squid Game. You always feel like the front man, he wanted people that were consenting to the games. He wanted everybody to have a fair chance. And in this point, the recruiter, he doesn't really care about consent. He doesn't really care about fairness. And then we see him just kind of risk it all at the end when he takes on Ji-hun. And Ji-hun, if he wins, Ji-hun can basically take his card. He's got an invitation to the games. I mean, he knows that Ji-hun is tracking him. He knows that Ji-hun has got motives to try and bring down the game. And instead of trying to escape or put distance between him and Ji-hun, or even taking Ji-hun out, he basically puts it down to a game of chance, and he forces Ji-hun into a game of roulette, knowing that if he loses, Ji-hun is going to have access, potentially, to the islands, and the whole games could be discovered. So, yeah, I just think the guy went completely crazy in Season 2, but I liked it. I thought that he should, not that I didn't like him in Season 1, but I did like the new side that we seen to him in Season 2, but I wonder what could have caused this.
I wonder what could have caused it, and I thought about it, and I think the answer is, he got discovered, didn't he? He got discovered this episode, in this season, where he was roaming the streets and the subways, and then the loan sharks caught him. Maybe he's not supposed to be discovered, maybe he's supposed to stay hidden. I tell you what, it's a tough job recruiting 456 people. Playing that game in the subway, man, I'd get bored of doing it. I'd crack.
Yeah, it could be, I mean, that would make sense, although he didn't get confronted by the loan sharks until after he went crazy on the homeless people, but do you think he knew he was being followed?
Yeah, because they were like, why is he not coming over to us?
Yeah, so, you know,
and they weren't exactly dodging him very well.
And the way he sees it, maybe if his cover's been blown, then it's essentially all over for him. He cannot continue in that role. He cannot continue to operate if everybody is aware that he is the recruiter. Essentially, for him to work in that role, he needs to go undiscovered. He needs to go under the radar.
And I think it makes more sense because it took them so long to find him, despite him being so obvious. Like, he's in the subways recruiting people.
So he must, and that would stand out. Some guy in a nice suit with a briefcase,
taller than most Koreans,
playing Daxi,
aye,
slapping people,
aye.
So he must. I don't know how he done it, but he was very good at not being discovered. But he does get discovered here. He forces both the loan sharks into a game. Now he ups the ante, 1 and 6. He thinks that's boring, taking too long for the trigger to go, for the bullet to go off, so he ups it to 5 and 6. That got me thinking about Russian roulette. If you play Russian roulette, does that mean then that somebody has to die? I thought it was like optional, you just pull the trigger once, and then if the bullet didn't go off for anybody, then that was it. It was considered a draw.
It's cause he kept like reverting back to the chamber. Now, if you don't do that, one of the 6 shots are going to kill you, but if you keep changing it, then I guess it's technically got infinite chances of it not going off.
Yes, but I thought you only had to press it once, and that was you complete it, you're at the game.
It seems to be a Russian roulette till someone loses. And we've seen that in the rock, paper, scissors game, and also with Ji-hun.
Yeah, so he was basically playing
he was just toying with these guys, wasn't he?
That goes against the code.
It goes against the code, but...
Now, we know that Dexter had a code and he stuck with it, but...
People that tend to go against the code tend to be out of options and want to die. And I think, judging by this guy and the way he was putting the barrel of the gun in his mouth and almost enjoying it, I think he wanted to go.
Yeah, we've seen him enjoy it. We've seen him have a conversation with Jihan. Talked about how he worked his way to that position. He earned that position, whereas Jihan done nothing. He just got lucky. He then disclosed the fact that he killed his father in the games, and I suppose that would be enough to make anybody go crazy. And we even seen the way he was playing this. I mean, he wasn't even afraid of death. He even had the option of just shooting Jihan. I mean, he could have shot Jihan. He could have got out of there, left the loan sharks behind, but instead he actually just took his fate. So I'm beginning to think that once he was discovered, it was pretty much up for him.
Well, that's what I'm thinking as well.
It was game over.
Yeah, and then he just wanted to go out and have some fun.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
that's the Fog Entertainment conclusion here.
Yeah.
He cracked the code.
Yeah, I think he went
His
crazy.
code cracked, but we cracked his.
Yeah, he definitely cracked, and then his skull cracked when Jihan won the Russian roulette. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts. I enjoyed this character. I wish he would have stuck around a bit longer. Here, maybe we'll put up for a poll. Should the salesman last it longer in Squid Game? Could we potentially see him in a flashback? I think so. I think there's potential for that. But anyway, it doesn't look like there's going to be another season in terms of another round of games. So if there's going to be no more games, then do we really need a recruiter? Maybe it was the best time for him to say goodbye. Anyway, that's it, guys. We're going to say goodbye right now because this is a good time for us. Till next time, peace.